Okay, my dear Dharma friend, let's go on the Sutra of Perfect Enlightenment. So yesterday we finished at page 61. The meaning of one or yuan, perfect. The Sutra of Perfect Enlightenment. Perfect had also three implications. The first is the perfection of self-enlightenment. Self-enlightenment. First, we start from ourselves. Then the second is the perfection of enlightening others. Once you kind of start awakening, you may help others to awaken. And the third is absolute perfection. Perfection. Severing delusion and consummating virtue, washing away hindrances and fulfilling enlightenment. This is the perfection of enlightening oneself. Severing delusion, consummating virtue, washing away hindrances, fulfilling enlightenment. So beautiful. Universally gathering those of the three capacities to return as one to perfect enlightenment. This is the perfection of enlightening others. Awakening is the priority for everybody. And awakening is ready for those with high capacities, realizing even though there is nothing to be realized, and transforming even though there is nothing to be transformed. We're now in the Dharma realm of Buddhahood right at this moment. There's nothing to be realized. You are Buddha already, so there's nothing to be realized and nothing to transforming. Nothing to be transformed. Realization and transformation are carried out to the outermost. There is no being to which they do not reach. The perfection is infinite big and infinite small. The consciousness itself has to realize it. That's all. Self-awareness, self-aware of perfection and completeness. Reality is mastered and sentiments are forgotten, immersed in sagehood, yet the same as worldling. The sagehood and worldling is here and now. With no sagehood, there's no worldling, there's no suffering, there's no liberation. There's no worldly people, there's no Buddha. There's only one. One ultimate truth. Okay, we're at page 22 now. The meaning of 觉, enlightenment. So Buddha is an enlightened being, or awakened one. Awakened from the phenomena world to pure awareness. awakened from affliction to non-affliction, awakened from limited body-mind to unlimited, unconditioned, formless, nameless being, total freedom. Actually, we talked about this yesterday, page 62, the meaning of 觉. Enlightenment has also three implications. The first is innate enlightenment. The second is actualized enlightenment. The third is enlightenment of the non-duality of innate and actualized enlightenment. Innate is called greatness. Enlightening oneself is called curative. Enlightening others is extensive. When the enlightenment of self and other are fulfilled, they return to the sameness of innate enlightenment. This is called perfect enlightenment. So everyone has the Buddha nature. The Buddha realm is infinite big, infinite small. Penetrate every sentient being, every animal, every non-sentient being, trees, rocks, galaxies. Infinite big, infinite small, inclusive, a total inclusiveness of everything. That's you. That's here and now. There's no such thing as you and me. There's no such thing as me and others. That's called perfect enlightenment. Non-duality. There's only oneness, until this very oneness disappears. Suchness. Easiness. So why is innate enlightenment called great? If we discuss enlightenment in terms of its essence, then it's all-embracing without limit. You see, all-embracing without limit, all-inclusive. If we discuss it in terms of its attributes, then it includes a myriad virtues, characteristics. If we discuss in terms of its function, then it manifests itself without minute. It is flows out in purity with transparent penetration and spiritual permeation. It's just like in our modern analogy, just like space, a vast space contains every object, every human being, every animal, every galaxy, every planet. Yet, space itself is free from every object, every human body, and every human mind, too. And we are that. So, Enlightenment that has three aspects: essence, attributes, and function. In the sage, it becomes body and becomes nirvana, yet nothing is added. In the worldling, it becomes affliction and becomes samsara, yet nothing is subtracted. You see, there's ultimate truth that does not increase nor decrease. It is like the bright moon in the sky that does not distinguish between the pure and impure, or the beautiful and ugly. It's beyond all the dualities, that does not care about poverty or wealth, elevation or debasement. It equally enlightens all those who approach it. In this way, its mysterious, its mysterious essence embraces the entire cosmos. Now modern physics say the universal unified field embraces all energy, matter, and space-time. Yet it is not large, it rests on the tip of our hair, yet it is not small. It includes both past and future, yet is beginningless and endless. It's beyond time. It pervades countless worlds without missing the slightest area. It is neither existence nor non-existence, and there's no time that is not just so, just so, 如是. This is why innate enlightenment is called great. So innate enlightenment is called 自性,自性清净圆明体, without any boundary, subject to no conditions at all. Independent, totally independent, depending on nothing. Causeless. In Buddhism, we also call it Dhammakaya. 法身慧命 Dhammakaya. Why the self-enlightenment called curative, when all those who are trapped in bondage suddenly rely upon a teacher and spontaneously return to their innate abilities, reflecting on their own pure and fully endowed attributes. They will arise faith and understanding. They will cast off error and return to the correct. Resist evil and follow the good. They will return defilements to buddhi, return ignorance to prajna or wisdom, transforming samsara into nirvana. This is why self-enlightenment is called curative. So beautiful. I love this paragraph. Why the enlightening others called extensive. Since one is already able to enlighten oneself, he ends delusion and consummates virtue. He thoroughly perceives that although sentient beings are of the same basic nature, they are deluded. At this point, one spreads out compassionate teachings like clouds in the sky. Like waves arising and crossing the ocean. He manifests various forms, teaches various dharmas, and is extensively able to benefit all sentient beings. This is why enlightening others is called extensive. So, for such a being, in Buddhism, we have a terminology, bodhisattva. So, bodhisattva is a enlightened being try to enlighten others or help others to get enlightened. He manifests various forms, teaches various dharmas, and extensively able to benefit all sentient beings. This is why enlightening others is called extensive. However, self-enlightenment is called curative. It also includes the meaning of extensive, and why enlightening others is called extensive. It also includes meaning of the curative. 方 and 广,大方广, they like implies each other, includes every others. In quelling evil, there's no evil not dispelled. In practicing goodness, there's no goodness not upheld. In one's capacity to be free, there's nothing from which one is not free. Right at this moment, we are already free, a total freedom. Yet the worldly people don't know. Ignorance is the greatest blockage in the path of awakening. In one's capacity to create, there's nothing that one does not create. This is why self-enlightening enlightenment can be called curative and yet at the same time be called extensive. Universally causing all others to seize evil just as I have, there are none who do not seize it. In doing goodness as I have, there are none who do not do it. This is why improving others is called extensive, but at the same time has the meaning of curative. So beautiful. The enlightenment of self and others is fulfilled, and you return to the innate enlightenment. Why is this called perfect enlightenment? Even though you have self realization, if you grasp the idea of realization, you still abide in the view of subject and object. So beautiful. And have not let it go. How could you possibly call this is thoroughgoing realization? Even though you transform others, if within yourself you have not let go of the idea of a transforming subject, and outside of yourself there is still a realm of the things to be transformed, how could you possibly call this great transformation? You still have the duality of subject and object. The subject that can transform and the object that needs to be transformed. So this is not great yet. Only after forgetting the idea of obtaining realization can there be thoroughgoing realization. Only after you stop giving rise to views of Buddhahood can there be great transformation. The states of thoroughgoing realization and great transformation coalesce with innate enlightenment, arising dependently without obstruction, wrong and right, good and evil, pollution and purity, yes and no, holy and profane, delusion and awakening, all merge into one realm. all dualities become one. Body and defilement do not interfere with each other. Samsara and nirvana are also not contradictory. Wisdom and foolishness merge as prajna. Hell and heaven are the same pure land. Selecting and rejecting are bows in your hand. Pleasure and pain are according to this situation. This is why fulfillment of enlightenment of self and other, which is the return to innate enlightenment, is called perfect enlightenment. 本觉自性，何其自性，本自清净；何其自性，本自具足；何其自性，本无生灭；何其自性，能生万法。You are already perfect and complete. You have unlimited merits or virtues already. You are beyond samsara and nirvana. You are beyond wisdom and foolish. You are beyond hell and heaven. You are beyond selecting and rejecting. You are beyond pleasure and pain. Beyond all the dualities of wrong and right, good and evil, pollution and purity, yes and no, yes and no, holy and profane, delusion and awakening. A total oneness, complete, perfect oneness. You even don't attach to the concept of oneness. So, page 64. 无上正等正觉. The Sanskrit anuttara samyak sambodhi means unsurpassed, corrective, universal true enlightenment. Anuttara samyak sambodhi means unsurpassed, corrective, universal true enlightenment. This unsurpassed, corrective, universal true enlightenment means the same thing as great, curative, extensive, perfect enlightenment. Unsurpassed, 圆觉, corrective wisdom is self-enlightenment, 自觉, 本觉. Universal wisdom is enlightening others, 自觉, 觉他. Since neither self-enlightenment nor enlightening others is biased or wrong, they are called correct or corrective universal true enlightenment, 无上正等正觉. The meaning of cure as the forgetting of both subject and object, the meaning of extension as the equality of self and other, the meaning of perfect as absolute, complete inclusion, and the meaning of enlightenment as the non-duality of innate enlightenment and initial enlightenment all contain the same meaning of correct enlightenment. Therefore, we know that what is called correct enlightenment is the same as what is called perfect enlightenment. Okay, let's go on. Page 64. Then, very interesting. Page 65. Kiwa. Why do I say practice of curing? Because in practice there is stopping and going, apprehension and discarding, and scrupulous correction without error. That's why we need sutras, the textbook of Buddha's teaching. It is like saying extending everywhere without error. It is also like the saying reverence corrects from inside, righteousness lies on the other side. Wow. Reverence corrects from inside, righteousness aligns on the outside. Well-known concepts such as stopping evil, and developing goodness, 除恶扬善, casting off evil and returning to the correct, 改邪归正, are the same as this. Why is cure first and extension next? Once you have virtue in abundance, you can reach out to the world and can give of yourself without any reservations. Wow, so beautiful. I feel it this way. Why is cure first and extension next? Once you have the virtue in abundance in your mind, in your body, and in your heart, you can reach out to the world to help, to love, to care without any judgments, without any bias, and can give of yourself without any reservation, just like Mother Teresa. This is like the saying, abiding at peace and valuing benevolence. You can love people. Abiding in peace, valuing benevolence, you can love people. It is also like saying, only when you have goodness within yourself can you stimulate the goodness of others. Only when there is no evil within yourself can you correct the evil of others. Wow, so beautiful. Only when you are total freedom, you can help others to get out from their prison. It is also means possess possessing goodness and possessing discipline, you improve sentient beings. Why do cure and extension come before perfection? You have already established the practice of self improvement and improvement of others, relying on your selecting and rejecting. Now, after being able to forget the idea of selecting and rejecting, and after wiping out the views of subject and the object, you are able to attain to the realm of thoroughgoing realization and great transformation, even though the Tao lacks definite shape. It is attainable. It is like the saying, spirit has no shape, and change has no essence. Neither practice nor realization, and nothing arising in transformation, and the no arising of non transformation, and so on. These are the reasons that great comes before cure, cure comes before extension, and cure extension comes before perfection. 大方广圆觉修多罗了义经。Though great and perfect are different words, they have the same meaning. The phrases, according with the wisdom of Manjusri, is none other than beginning's mind. So, Manjusri Bodhisattva is the symbol or is the Bodhisattva of wisdom. According with the wisdom of Manjusri is none other than beginner's mind, is none other than your mind. Manjusri's mind and your mind and everybody's mind shall share the same foundation. And when you enter the stage of the practices of samattabhaja, there is already no separate essence. Express this same meaning. The Bodhisattva Samantabhadra is the application of the wisdom that Bodhisattva Manjusri has. So if I say Manjusri is the symbol of wisdom, then Samantabhadra is the application of the wisdom or wisdom in action. 文殊智普贤行。Manjusri, so we are at page 66. Manjusri Bodhisattva is a Mahayana symbol representing the wisdom aspect of the Buddhist path, and thus in many Mahayana scriptures, the sections connected with his name are the most profound. In the Sutra of Perfect Enlightenment, the chapter of Manjusri contains the southern teaching that in the midst of no gradualism whatsoever, Samattabhadra, in contrast to Manjusri, represents the gradual practice aspect of Buddhist path, in which practice are carried out in reliance upon a phenomena understanding of cause and effect. Phase understanding is the initial stage of Buddhist practice, while realization transformation is equal, equi, equivalent, equivalent to Buddhahood. 出至普贤行 page 66. Kiwa is elucidating a position articulated in the Huayan school that since all things are interpenetrated and contain each other, there can ultimately be no such thing as a separation between the early stages of so-called non-enlightenment and the final stage of enlightenment. The same message is expressed in the two following quotations, which identify the highest stage of wisdom with the very beginning of practice. So beautiful. Okay, I think maybe that's the end for today. So thank you. See you tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. Vancouver time.